Hey everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Welcome back, friends, or if this is your first time visiting me here, I really appreciate it and I hope you'll subscribe today. What I'm making today is a new project using one of the Boho Flowers mini kits from Gina K Designs, along with a sneak peek of one of my newest sets from Gina K Designs, Fabulous Froze Frame, which is coming out on Thursday, August 31st. So look for that. We're also going to be using the MISTI today, partnering with my Sweet Petunia. I love the MISTI tool. I actually have the large and the mini. I'm using the mini today, and there's so many different ways that this can really enhance your stamping and keep you from making little mistakes like dropping the stamp or over stamping or if you miss a spot. So just a few different things that I'm going to be doing today using this label stamp from my new set, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to stamp these butterflies onto that border so that they are mirror image of each other at the same angle, and you're just turning your cardstock, not turning the stamp. Products that we're going to be using today, in addition to the MISTI and these stamp sets, I've got the Gina K Black Onyx, and we're also using the Gina K Ocean Mist. And then the cardstock we're using, that coordinating Ocean Mist cardstock and the white. These colors and cardstocks are provided in that particular kit, so that's how I chose my color theme. I will post the measurements below. The markers that I'm using today, I've just got some of the Zig Clean Color markers from the pack of 60. So you'll just want a yellow, a green, some shades of blue, and a purple. So today I've got the yellow green, the light blue, the light green, the lilac, and then the cobalt blue. And then I'm also going to be using just a white gel pen to do some little accents, just as kind of a fun detail so you can change up that greeting. And then we just need some adhesive. That's all the supplies that we're using today. And I love that we've just got the one MISTI instead of multiple blocks that we're going to be using. So we're just going to lay this out, and I've used this before in other videos. Really important that you put this mat into the corner. I think when I first started using the MISTI, I thought I could kind of put it anywhere because of the magnets, but sometimes these new stamps will stick to the paper and it pulls up, so it's better just to have it in the corner. There's some other ways though, and I just got the creative corners, so that will let you move the paper around, but for today's card, let's put that in the middle. So I'm using this fabulous label stamp here. Some of you might recognize it from my fabulous frame. This is a filler for it, and I've got lots of other elements in this new set that I'm releasing on Thursday. But this is going to allow you to make all sorts of different sketches on your cards, make tags, in addition to filling in that frame's label. So what we're going to do on today's card, I'm just going to be laying this in the center. I'm not doing any measuring. I'm just eyeballing it there. And then I'm just going to put my magnets around it to help hold that down. So I've got the image side down on the paper, and then I am going to just press the door against the label. And then we're going to pull this away and see how it pulls the paper up because it's a brand new stamp. So I'm just going to stick that right back in. And then what I like to do with this stamp, because it has this big open area, sometimes air gets trapped in there, so I like to pull this up. Now, as long as I am not taking this part of it off, it's going to stay positioned how it should. And so I'm just going to press it all back down without the air in there. So the image would be the same, but if you have a big air bubble, it's easy to get ink onto the center of that and then transfer it to your cardstock. So we're going to stamp this in the Ocean Mist, and I love using the MISTI with this label stamp since I just got this last week, the label stamp that is, because you have a bold stamp and because it's brand new. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get it really, really solid, and I want this to look really, really solid on my card front. So once I've got that all inked up, I'm just going to press the window down, press all over. I've made so many cards with this, so you see there is some staining on it, but it is clean. Make sure you start with a clean stamp, and then we're just going to pull that up. So that is nice and solid there, but if you want, you can go over it again if you missed any places, and all this is going to do is just really, really make it nice and bold and dark for you. Lift it up. Okay, beautiful. That would be really hard to achieve just stamping with the block when it's new. All right, so now what I want to do, I'm going to remove this label and I want to position the butterflies around that. I love having mirror image or symmetrical stamping with the same stamp on cards to create a really cool symmetrical design. So for this one, I positioned it here to the right and then opposite. I think what I'm going to do today is I am going to make a landscape version of this card to show you how you can use the label landscape style. So since I'm using this large U greeting, I need to consider where that long Y is going to go. So instead on this one, I'm going to put the butterfly here and then here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to figure out where I want this, and I'm lining up that body and the wings over the label. So then it's going to go up here. And I'm just going to press this down, lift it up, and see how it's sticky even though it didn't have anything on it. So we're going to use our Gina K Black Onyx. You want to be careful not to get it on the door, and if you do, you just wipe it off. And then we're just going to lay this down, press, open, beautiful. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and this works when you have it centered on the cardstock. If you had it down low and then you turned it, then obviously the butterfly would not land on it, but when it's in the middle, this works. So I'm just going to put it right here, put my magnets down, re-ink, and again, if you want it really, really dark and black, you can ink this up twice. So I'm just going to lay that down there. And see how I just love how those are just hugging that oval like that. Okay. All right. Now you can continue your stamping right here in the MISTI, or you can take it out after you're done with all of your stamping. But I'm just going to continue stamping and coloring in the MISTI. So I'm going to put this U right here. Push that back down into the corner. And I just like to look at the sentiment, make sure it's lined up the way I want. So I got a little ink there on the door. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Make sure you have something handy to wipe it off with. I'm just going to use a little paper because I didn't have my towel ready. Okay. And we're just going to press that down. Lift it up. So it skipped a little space there. Kind of need to re-ink my pad, but also sometimes you'll get kind of like a little hair or a fiber from the pad that it picks up. So I'm just going to re-ink this again, make sure there's no hairs on there. Get that off. And press it down. Okay, love that. All right. And then there's so many different things that go with the U in this set. I'm having so much fun with it, and there's a die for the U as well. But you can make greetings where there's something before it, like thank you or you are so kind. I'm just going to do, I think, happy birthday to, because that'll fit nicely up in the top there. So I'm going to turn this, get this lined up how I want it. Close the door. And I'm just making it so that you can see the inking up that I'm doing over here. But you can do it with the door away from you. I just want it all in the frame. Okay. All right. So that's all the stamping I'm going to do. So I'm just going to leave this in here for me to do my coloring. So what I want to do is I want to pick up colors from my cardstock base. So I'm just going to fill in just small sections. And I love the little brush tip on this. It's so easy just to dab the color in. And I just want it to be all over this butterfly so your eye moves around. So I'm just trying to get it balanced. So I'm not going in the exact same sections for every wing and for both butterflies. Just going quickly here. But if you want to make this design symmetrical, you can. Just Just takes a little more time to make sure you're hitting all those little spots. You can leave some panes open too, just like clear stained glass. And we'll switch to that purple. So the lovely lavender, that's one of the colors in the kit. And then what I want to do with that white gel pen, even though I love this black greeting, I love really stylized kind of doodly greetings too. And so what I'm going to show you, this just gives you some options for changing up the look of that big U if you want. And I think it looks really pretty in this particular design because of these different little panes and colors in those butterfly wings. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to make some white dots with my white gel pen over those big solid areas in my U. So I'm just gonna draw on just some little white dots, and you can have them be all the same size, or you can have it taper down towards the bottom there. So I'm just going in a circle, swirling it around, not really worrying too much if it's a perfect circle. And you can put that in these sections as well. Just think it creates a really fun, whimsical look. If you want to leave this white, you can, but the nice thing about this gel, what it does, it's going to give you a coloring opportunity now that you can put those same colors over the dots. And so I just thought this was a fun detail to add that I wanted to share. And I used the black onyx cardstock on my sample that I showed at the beginning, but I'm using the Ocean Mist just because I wanted to change that up a little bit so you can see. So I'm going to take these off, and I'm also just going to add just a little bit of bling to this card to give it some shine and dimension. So I'm just taking some of these adhesive rhinestones, and I'm just adding one to the body on each side, just right over where it intersects that label. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive onto the edges, and the card is complete. So thank you for watching today. Please let me know in the comments which version you prefer, the portrait or the landscape style. Again, come visit us at Gina K Designs on August 31st for our release party at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be releasing my new stamp set with this label and so many other things in it, plus sets from our other illustrators and Gina. Thanks for watching today. Thank you ahead of time for your comments, shares, and likes. And again, I hope you will subscribe. Please visit us at StampTV and my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart. Thank you for watching. God bless.